This is why a hospital is a good place to survive the zombies. On this channel, we are already experts in analyzing places to survive the zombie apocalypse. Today it's the hospital's turn, and yes, I know what you're thinking. It's a mistake to go there, but I'm going to try to change your mind. But since I know what you want to hear, let's start with the disadvantages. When the zombie apocalypse kicks off, hospitals are bound to become the go-to destination for everyone with a splinter, a sneeze, or a genuine need for medical attention. Picture the scene. The waiting room is a chaotic carnival of humanity, with the line for the triage nurse stretching out the door and down the street. It's like Black Friday at a big box store, but instead of flat-screen TVs, everyone's desperate for antibiotics and a tetanus shot. People who think they've been bitten are mixing with folks who just want to be reassured that their cough isn't the start of a zombie transformation. The result? Pure pandemonium, with more drama than a reality TV reunion special. The staff, already overworked and undercaffeinated, are swamped by the incoming tide of humanity, or maybe zombies. You've got the hypochondriac who's convinced a paper cut is a zombie bite, and the guy who just wants to know if his insurance will cover the apocalypse. Meanwhile, the vending machines are being emptied, and the waiting room looks like a scene from a disaster movie, complete with background screams and that one guy trying to live stream the whole thing. In the melee, someone's trying to use a defibrillator on their iPhone, because hey, maybe it just needs a jumpstart, right? The hospital, once a beacon of calm and care, now resembles a zombie survival training camp. Navigating a hospital during a zombie apocalypse is like trying to find your way through an IKEA on a Saturday afternoon, but with fewer meatballs and more potential for undead encounters. Hospitals are mazes of winding hallways, endless identical rooms, and signs that make you wonder if you're on the set of a bad horror movie. One wrong turn, and you're in the pediatric ward instead of the pharmacy. Or worse, you've ended up in the basement with the janitor's supplies when you were aiming for the cafeteria. And just when you think you found a safe spot, you realize it's the MRI room, which is great for diagnosing issues, but not so great for fending off zombies. Adding to the fun, hospitals aren't exactly known for their defensive features. Sure, they have sturdy doors, but they also have giant windows and multiple entrances that seem to scream, "Come on in, everyone." It's as if the building itself was designed by someone who thought open floor plan was the way to go for zombie defense. Trying to barricade yourself in means improvising with whatever's at hand. IV stands, rolling beds, and the occasional "caution wet floor" sign. Those sliding automatic doors, perfect for letting in a nice breeze, but not so much for keeping out the undead. In essence, defending a hospital during a zombie outbreak is like trying to use a colander as a shield. It's full of holes, and you'll need a lot of creativity and a bit of luck to make it work. In short, we already know that defending a hospital is an impossible mission, not only because of all the people you need, but because of how big it is. We have yet to talk about the fact that they are in the heart of the cities. That is, more zombies everywhere. But don't leave this video yet. At the beginning, I made you a promise, remember? I'm going to try to change your mind about this place. By the way, we have the goal of reaching 1K subs before September. Subscribe and join the best zombie community. In these situations, we always think of the first place to be safe, but it is clear that the hospital is a place to avoid in the first days. This place can be key if you survive the first weeks, maybe months. Why? After months in the zombie apocalypse, the hospital has become your go-to looting ground, a one-stop shop for survival essentials. First up, the communication equipment. Picture this. You and your ragtag group huddled around a dusty old radio, trying to make contact with other survivors. It's like a post-apocalyptic ham radio club. Someone's trying to remember their high school Morse code lessons, while another is desperately flipping through static-filled channels, hoping to hear something other than zombie groans. When you finally get a response, it's like winning the apocalypse lottery. Now, you can trade vital info, like the best places to scavenge or which areas are overrun with the undead. You're basically living the post-apocalyptic version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and communication is your lifeline. Now, let's talk about power supply. Those hospital backup generators are gold if you can get them running. After a few months, it's like trying to start a car that's been sitting in a garage since the 80s. Cue the scene where everyone's gathered around, offering unsolicited advice, while one person, inevitably named MacGyver, actually knows what they're doing. Once the lights flicker on, you feel like you've just conquered the world. You can charge your walkie-talkies, power up the radio, and even cook some of the remaining canned ravioli in the microwave. Food and water supplies are your next big score. Hospital cafeterias might not be Michelin-starred restaurants, but after months of scavenging, that stash of pudding cups and instant coffee looks like a feast. It's like a twisted version of Supermarket Sweep, or you're racing against time and zombies to grab whatever hasn't expired. With the power back on, you can keep those supplies fresh just a bit longer, turning the hospital into a temporary oasis of civilization in the chaotic wasteland. In the aftermath of months in the zombie apocalypse, the hospital's medical supplies are your jackpot. Forget about hitting the jackpot in Vegas. Here, it's all about finding that untouched supply closet filled with bandages, antibiotics, and maybe even a stash of painkillers that would make a pharmacist jealous. It's like a medical scavenger hunt, where every discovery, be it a box of surgical masks or a bottle of antiseptic, is a small victory against the odds of infection and injury. With these supplies, you're not just patching up cuts and scrapes. You're building a makeshift triage center that could mean the difference between surviving another day and becoming zombie lunch. In summary, it is clear that a hospital is not a good place to survive the zombies, but with time, and if the zombies leave, it can be a goldmine to survive and loot everything that a hospital can offer you. But what do you think? I read you in the comments.